Is it time for you to transform your life, unmask yourself, and shine your light in the world? Hi, my name is Alexandra Gold, and I am a woman on purpose. I am an author, a poet, and the creator of the Golden Compass system that helps women from all over the world become spiritually full, financially free, and confidently unstoppable. And you're watching video 2 in the series of training videos to help you fall in love with life again. And in this video, I want to teach you how to transform yourself one step at a time so that you can get the confidence to unmask who you really are inside. And then for you to start shining your light all over the world in whatever capacity that is for you. If you don't know me, I am now a very confident, happy, purposeful woman. But life wasn't always like that for me. I grew up a young girl with that confidence instilled, with the awe, with the desire for life, when nothing was impossible. And then I had a really traumatic crisis. I was diagnosed with a tumour in my brain, and although that was benign and it was removed, I was left with disease of the bone, which disabled me for about 10 years of my life. And my son was only a baby at the time, and I was living on benefits. I had a tiny flat where the mice used to come and say hello. And I thought that my life was over, and I had no way of supporting myself, of even knowing whether I'd be alive to support my son. And I really had hit rock bottom. But one day, I sat with my son watching a children's program called Thomas the Tank Engine. And in this program, Thomas is a train tank, and he says, "I want to be a useful engine." And with my son sat next to me, he was wearing a light blue all-in-one, and I was snuggled up next to him on the comfy sofa in our tiny flat in the middle of London, with the mice running up his garage and saying hello. In that moment, I decided that I wanted to be a useful engine too. And that was the moment that transformed my life. I made a decision. I made a decision, a decisive decision to make a change, to take a chance on myself in order to create the future that I really wanted and desired, not only for me, but for the rest of the world. It's taken me a really long time to get to this point, but in this video, I want to share with you some of the things that I went through in order to reprogram myself. In the last video, we went over how to let go of our limiting beliefs, how to move on, and to take back our power, one step at a time. And if you haven't had a chance to watch it, if you can click above here, you will be able to see it. But in this video, I want you to think a little bit further. I want you to think about the changes that you would like to make in your life, the chances that you would like to take in life, and then commit to just doing one of those for you. So the way I changed and became aware of making changes and decisive change, a decisive choice to make a decisive change and take decisive chances, was I was driving through Spain with my partner and our children, and all along the mountains were new windmills, the white ones that make a lot of noise, that to some look really, really hideous. And hands up, at the time, I did too. having come so far on my journey, I knew that I could probably learn to love them. And this is the example that I want to share with you today. Because at that moment, I made a decision. I made a decision to love these windmills. These windmills that I knew were far better than any of the energy sources that we were using at the moment. I made a decision to love them. I instilled myself to love them. I made a choice to love them. And every time I encountered a windmill of said description, big, tall, white windmills, I reiterated that to myself. I love you. I love your power. Until it became a part of me. Until that change stopped and started and began, and my whole life had started again to see things differently. Just this one thing, but this one thing. And about 6 months later, I was travelling to Wales across the River Severn. And I saw these windmills again. And I had taken such a decisive choice to love these windmills that when I was seeing them, I saw them on the horizon and then they came closer. I actually started to cry because the power that I had instilled in myself made this windmill, this group of windmills, absolutely majestic in my heart. And I know that doesn't seem like a very big thing, but it is a very simple way of sharing with you how powerful our minds are, how powerful we are inside when we take a chance, make a decisive choice, and then make a decisive change. In our last video, I asked you to take action with one thing. In this video, I'm going to ask you the same thing. But this time, I want you to take something that you really dislike, that you know that should be good for you. And this can be something within yourself, whether you should drink more water, or whether you should eat wholemeal bread, or whether you should give up something completely, or whether you should just not do so much of something. I want you to just make a decisive choice, to make a decisive change in whatever capacity that is, and take a chance, a decisive chance that this can work for you and that you have the power within you. I know it's only one thing, and you'll say, why? How can this transform my life? How can this help me unmask? How can this help me to shine my light on the world? In the last video, I taught you that the golden compass comes in 3 levels. The foundation, where we create a safe, secure environment for ourselves to work from. The second phase is all about practice. It's all about practicing the things that we need to learn, or we want to learn, or we should probably do a little bit more of. And then the third stage, we've embodied those practices so that they're no longer a practice. They're instilled in us. And the whole process that I teach is all about letting go and letting in. So we get rid of all the bad stuff, we put that in the bin or a sacred vault. We move on, we take something, we make sure that we take responsibility. And then we take action to take back our power and remember to make it feel good for you. Remember to take that moment and let it sink in and get the momentum from how good that feels. And in this lesson, I want you to just make a choice, to make a change, and take a chance with us on yourself, on what you can create, that inner power within you. In the next video, we talk all about being a leader in an holistic world and creating a new paradigm together. This is something I feel really strongly about. I believe that if we're all really comfortable and really happy in our own space, that we can join hands and unite for world, global goodness. I believe that so strongly. That's my mission, my purpose, and that is why I'm here with you today. Because otherwise I would be sat in that little room with Thomas the Tank Engine and still not feeling useful. So join me in the next video where I teach you all about my thoughts and how you can become a leader in an holistic world. And we can create the new paradigm together. I do hope that you found this video useful. If you do, I'd love to hear your comments. And if you think that you know somebody that could benefit, please share this with them. They're for everybody that needs them. But for now, I want you to remember that this process of falling in love with life takes one step at a time. You don't have to jump forward. I'm here to hold your hand. But remember, you have to. You have to take a chance with yourself. Make a decisive choice to make a change. I'm with you. I'll help you. But for now, be gold.